Hey everybody, I am going to do a tutorial today of these earrings. I call them galactical, um, space, utopian, Y2K type of earrings. Mostly it's kind of like my style when it comes to chainmail, which is mostly like ethereal, classic type of vibe. I'm mostly kind of surrealism artist, so I'm mostly just like makeup as I go, um, by like interweaving different weaves and stuff like that. The ring sizes I have here go by gauge. I am not for certain, which I think they do. Um, and the millimeter is probably the distance in between. Um, I think that's the circumference. It's been a while since I've actually taken math in that type of way. But I have 7.5 gauge, 1 millimeter, and I have 14.5 gauge, 2 millimeter, 8.5 gauge, and 1.2 millimeter, and a 13 gauge of a diameter of 1.4 millimeters. These are all of the rings that go into this tutorial. I do apologize that I don't have the... I know a lot of us, or a lot of y'all, go by the ASW, I think that's what it's called, or the AR. My supplier is from New Zealand, so this is just how he labeled his, and I'm actually a silversmith and I used to wire wrap, so this actually made more sense to me than the correct way that I guess a lot of people will categorize different jump rings. But I do apologize if you're gonna have to, like, I guess configure what ring sizes if you go by that. I'm not sure if they have any different types of I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, but like I'm not sure if it's going to be a lot of trouble, or if like the ASW and the AR are kind of like the same of doing it this way. I think that's what I was trying to say. So again, I do apologize for that, but we are going to get started. I actually have created one already because I was trying to practice. This is my first tutorial ever, so sorry again if this is going to be not really precise and probably what you're going to see regularly when it comes to chainmail. But I actually have a hematite bead this time, and this is actually what we're going to be making with instead of the rose quartz. I'll set these up here. I also do have the bead size in a 10 millimeter. I'm pretty sure this is the millimeter hole, or it's the diameter of the bead. Again, I'm not quite sure on that as well. But that is the brand. It's nothing natural or anything. I just something I picked up from Michael's or my craft store. But I do have everything laid out. I just wanted to show the gauge sizes, so because I know some people were asking for that, and just trying to get all my stuff here. Normally I just start with like a weave, and then things will happen, and that what I was actually wanting to work on or learning just turns into something else, and this is exactly what happened. I actually was making this design, which is something that I was trying to like see how to piece them together, like link them up, like, the pearls and the Cuban links type thing. That's what I was trying to do, but it turned out real quick I can't really piece something together for these, and it's too tight to put something in through here to keep them going. So I'm gonna have to figure out how or what I could do with this one. I also wanted to ask as well in this community If anybody has any suppliers for their jump rings, my supplier has, I guess, left the United States. He's not shipping out to the United States anymore. I don't, you know, good for him for right now. But at a loss, really love these jump rings. His name was Jean Pierre. He did all the jump rings. They're really, really nice. They're stainless steel. And I don't know, I guess it's just like, I've only worked with him. So like, I would like to find something of the same type of, I guess, supplier, which there's no one person that does all. But if anybody has any suggestions or knows of a good supplier, then please, please, please leave the comments below, if kindly enough so I still have a lot of jump rings left, but I really need some 8 gauge either 1.4 millimeter or 2 millimeter, because I want to try out some new designs and I can't do them without the jump rings. But anyways, thank you for the ramble. Here we go. So with our 14.5 millimeters, if we take a look at this up closely, we see that I have the 4.5 millimeters in the, it's basically the cage for our bead here. And what I am doing is I take these two and I'm going to take two of these 13 gauge and clip them on there. Both of them. And I will say this is it can be very tricky. A lot of this stuff is very intricate. I have a hard time trying to do this. That's why I practice with this guy over here. Also, I want to make this as clear as possible for you guys. And I don't want to, I don't know, since this is nothing that I've seen and just came up from the top of my head, I needed to remember it. Also, I needed to like find a way to be able to teach it and not, because it is kind of complicated, and I was trying to figure out if there's any easier way to do this based on the first design. But I think I'm going to do it this way. But I link on these two, and then I'll take I'll take an 8.5 one, a smaller one. And you can totally gauge this yourself. You don't have to use the same type of rings as me, as long as the design works, because there are some technical difficulties as to why some of these rings are the sizes that they are, based off what I've run into. So I'll attach this to the 13. So we have this kind of situation that's happening here. It's almost as if it's kind of like, you know, descending, ascending type stuff. All right, so the easiest way other than that is to have our hematite, our bead, and kind of like having your fingers like so, and you're going to put the bead in between our 13s and it's going to close. Sometimes these rings up here will slide either on side, just try to get them in the middle. I do this so I don't have this bead falling out. And that is how I actually started, this design started, is I was trying to figure out how to get this bead to stay in place. And if you have a hole, I try to like push it up. We have our cage for our bead. And to keep our bead in place is going to be by these other 13s that I loop through. Like so. And it doesn't matter if you know, put them in on one side or the other. As long as you have 2 in, your bead is secure. All right. So now we have our cage. It's secure, it won't come out. And then we just add these 2 on, these other rings, one is side by side. It's a really easy design. It's just there are things that make it technical and that can get a little bit frustrating. Mostly when the bead is popping out and everything's popping out, flying out, which is why I usually put the smaller rings on top so we don't have to, you know, because the sides, the bead would come out this way, then I would get it again, and then the bead would come out that way. So I had to trap it. So that's mostly what you're trying to do, is trapping the bead from falling out, which could be the most difficult part. All right. It looks snug, but it's actually pretty fluid. You have room for your rings to flow back and forth. They are just caged and they are ready to go. Let's put the last one in. I love the design that it gives on the bottom. I think that's what is like my favorite part about this design is the bottom, and of course no one's gonna see it, but it's where you have all of those links down at the bottom. That's literally my favorite part about this. But there we go. We have our galactical Space Ranger. On to the next part, which is the chain to our earring. I don't know if this is actually a weave. This is something I actually just came up with a 2x2 link, and I got a little crazy and I decided to do a little crisscross. I have a chain necklace that is all of this type of design, and I called it the knotted lotus. Oh no, the sacred knot, because it seems sacred because it's about trinities, because you have one here, one there, and it kind of looks like the Trinity and almost looks like a lotus. I think that's why I almost named it that. But now we take our, well, first I put our 7.5s hold on. I actually did that wrong. The 7.5s are actually supposed to be on top. My apologies. I think I was just so quick to ready to trap this person. Or this bead. We're going to be smart about this. I'll take them out one at a time, collect them. I put the 7.5 on here because there wasn't a lot of room for it to be, to have a lot of movement, which is why I chose for a smaller ring. I like to have a lot of movement in my pieces, so That's why I went with that choice. This is a tricky part, and this is a part where I kind of get a little flustered, but I will put my 8.5s on here. And by all means, if you guys find yourself something easier on how to create this, on how to build this design, please feel free. You don't actually need to follow my whole tutorial, but you kind of get the idea. But I will stack these. I put my 8.5s 2x2. It's only 2 of them. So there's only 2 here, and we're gonna weave in some of these other jump rings. So I have 2 of these here. All right. I guess I did need 2 more. Just open these up real quick. All right, so now that we have our chain, we have it looking like this. And so I'm gonna try my best for you guys to see this. I may have to stand up so I can see it through the camera. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be weaving through upward. See if I can hold it. It's mostly just trying to hold this thing for you guys to see. Okay, so I'm going to be going through here, through the back, if you can see that, through the back, and I'm going to, it's like you're following the curve of the ring. Okay, so I'm going to go through the back of these rings, and I'm going to follow down into these. So now we got this crisscross motion, right? They're both crossing each other. And I'm gonna close these. And I'll usually keep this here so the ring just falls, and I will weave in a second ring in this cross, like so. There we go. And so now we have this. Try to show it. We have this sensation right here. All right, so I'm gonna try my best to show you how this is gonna happen. So to weave in the crisscross of the other one, we are gonna go through the back of here. I can't get my pin back there. Through the back, and we're gonna loop it around to this bottom ring. So see if I can do this on camera, because this is what always gets me. So I'm gonna go through the back of the middle of the Venn diagram. Come on, man. Hopefully you can see this. Through the back, and I'm going to twist it around, following the curve to the bottom ring. Why that looked so easy through the past 15 minutes, I don't know. But we'll do it again. So let me find the rings. So we have our little knot. So since we have our guiding ring on, the first one is always the hardest. Trying to find it, it is kind of frustrating if you're new to this or if you're new to the weave. Also, in the comments, tell me if this is an actual weave or not. But let's go again. All right. So we're looking for the middle of the Venn diagram. My fingers are too big. Okay, so let's see if I can try to hold this correctly. Back through the middle. You see that? Back through the middle, Venn diagram. We are following, we are twisting, and we are coming through the bottom ring. Watch that as many times as you can. I hope that you can see that properly. And then we shall have our earring design. Our little galactic earring design. And put this pin through, we can see it better. Our little ring design, there we go. And that is how you make it. I will then attach on, I have these small little rings to attach the earring hook on. And I just attach it to the top of the rings. And I double up because that's just me. I think I like symmetry. I don't like things being uneven. That could just be me being me. But one would be fine if you're okay with that. Let's put the other one on. And then I will get the other ring, attach it to our earring hoop, and we attach it to our other friends. And there we have it. Our little earring galactical buddy, along with our other one. So that is the completion of our tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was something that was very fun for me. I actually love doing this, and hope you guys can see it very well. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment, subscribe, follow, all of the things. I hope this tutorial went well, and thank you guys, and stay galactical.